Hi guys, this is Devdatta with the third session of Stuff is Not Tough. In my previous session, we have discussed why the middle C, that is C4, the C of the fourth octave, has been put in the upper clef, not in the middle C position. I must declare at this point that that is not an information that I supplied. The reason that I put behind that is completely my logical deduction, and agreeing to it or not agreeing to it, it completely upon you. So with that disclaimer, let me go to the next one. In this session, what I have done is I put together all the notes that covers the range of a steel guitar. That's the middle C. We know the middle C is put over here. Then one step down comes to B, then B flat, then A, then G sharp, G, F sharp, F, E, E flat, D, C sharp, C, B. This C is again C3, one octave down from this C. Then from C we go down to B, B flat, A, G sharp, G, F sharp, F and E. I put the fret numbers on the top and the string numbers on the bottom to cover. So you can see I started from the very lowest possible note, that is open 6 string, that is E, and covered up to the middle C, which is third string, third fret. In the lower part, I have covered the upper section. That means C and up onward. So C, C sharp, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, B flat, B, C onwards, all the way up to 13th fret over here and 14th onward in the next line. So I have covered up to 20, which is the C6th. Let me write down. C6th. Again here also I have put all the string numbers at the bottom and the fret numbers at the top. So only first couple of notes cover the third string and the second string. First string and the rest of the notes are on the first string only. So if you look at these notes together, you will see putting the C in the third space of the G clef keeps the whole range in a manageable situation. Now, I promised you that we will discuss something about how to memorize these notes. Initially, you have to count the lines, like something over here, the first line of the treble clef. Look at this clef, treble clef, and that's an E. So the second line will be G, and the space in between will be F. If F is preceded by a sharp sign, then it is F sharp. So initially, you have to count the lines. Like say, for example, this one. How do we find it? This is a treble clef, so the numbers are E, G, B, D, F. This line up to this line is F. So this space is G, this line is A, then again another space which will be B. So initially you have to count like that. There is one nice thing available which are called flashcards. So these are the flashcard. In flashcard on one side you will see a clef sign which will tell you the name of the lines or the spaces and a note. From this note you have to figure out which note is that. From this symbol you have to figure out which one is that. If you invert the card, the answer is there. So it is like challenging yourself. Now these cards are all arranged very numerically from 36, 35, 29, 27, 23 all the way to 1. So they will be like initially C, then D, then E. So that is not going to help. So what I'm going to do is I will shuffle it like the card, like the deck of cards, playing cards. And let's see. So I will completely mess it up. And we can challenge ourselves. How far did we learn? Okay, let's see. The first one. Initially you have to count it is a treble clef, a bass clef. So the first line will be a G. G, B, D, F, A. So the space below the G will be an F. Let's see. Yes, it's an F. Let's see what we have in the next one. This is the first line. So the first line will be G. Let's see. It's a G. Another one. Let's get this one. This is real far. So this is a bass clef. So the numbers are G, B, D, F, A. And then a space which is G. Then a line. So G, B, D, F, A. Then B, then C. Then this should be a D. Let's see. Yes, it's a D. So this way I can show you some of the cards. Let's try this one. I would encourage you to pause the video time to time and try to tell it by yourself. I have shown you some of them. I will tell you this one too. So this is the treble clef. So the first line will be E. So the space will be D. Then the line will be C. Then the space will be B. And the line will be A. So this is the A. This is A. So initially you have to count. And I will show you some of those flashcards. I will keep it for a little while and then invert it and see if you can answer it yourself. Let's go with this and let's invert it. Let's go with this. And then invert it. So please practice this way. These flashcards I checked over the internet. They are not really available. I couldn't find any source that are available in India. They should not cost much, but they're very helpful. Another way, before going to that, let me tell you, if you want a complete set of flashcard, what I can do is I can make a PowerPoint presentation with all the notes that are there in the whole range of steel guitar and mail it out for you. So if you need a copy of this flashcard, please email me at devdatta@hotmail.com. The second way to memorize these things will be an interval based practice. What is an interval based practice? Let's see. This first line is an E. This is the treble. Now we are all talking about treble clef because this is mostly targeted for guitarists. So if this is an E, where the F will be? F will be here. So if first and second root and second interval comes together, then they look like that. Wherever you put this is F, A, C. You put C and D together. If C and B together. So it looks like that. So whenever it looks like two adjacent notes are crowded too much, they must be with either second interval or seventh interval. Because second interval in the octave lower comes as a seventh interval. Okay. What I wanted to say is B to C is second interval, C to B is the seventh interval, if you look at the other way. Now, if we look at the third interval, so if this is F, then this is the first interval, that means this, if this is root, this is F is root, then G is the second and A is the third one. So I have something like that. So if you have a third interval, you always get this type of note which are spaced nicely. If you go for fourth interval, let's say I have a over here. So the fourth interval will be from A is D. A, B, C, D. So they maintain a bigger gap. If you go from, say this is C. C, D, E, F. This is the fourth interval. How do the fifth interval look like? I have a over here and the fifth interval will be E. So the fifth interval A, B, C, D, E is A, B, C, D, E. The top space. Remember F, A, C, E. So they look like this. How about sixth interval? You go from A and you go up to F. So the interval is even bigger. You identify one note, you identify the second note from the interval. How about octave? I have E over here and the second E, the octave higher E, will come in this, the top space. So the interval is, the gap between these two notes are even bigger. So this is like second interval. Third interval. Another important thing for third interval, if one note is in space, the second note also will be in the space. If one note is on line, the second note also will be in the line. Fourth interval, if one is on the space, the second one will be on the line. If one is on the line, the second one will be on the space. And this is A, B, C, D, E. So these two are fourth interval example. This is fifth. This is sixth. A, B, sorry. A to F, that is sixth interval, and this is octave. This is octave interval. So this is another way to memorize the notes. The best thing is to practice. There is no other shortcut than to practice it. So keep in mind, keep an open eye for this kind of notes, one note and the second note. So that means if they are not together also, if A is here, you have a A here, and you have a second note is coming somewhere here. So you know the difference between these two is space to space, just the next space. So this is must be a third interval. Again, if you start from A and go to A, B, C, D. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fourth interval. So if this is A, this will be D. How far it is moving, that is very important. So let's practice them, challenge yourself, and again, if you need some kind of those kind of flashcard printout from me, I have to make a makeshift flashcard by myself in computer, and I can send the PowerPoint to you. You can print it out, cut it accordingly, and use it for your practice purpose. Thank you. See you in the next session, and next session onwards, most likely we will discuss the duration of the note. Thank you.